This video is going to be a look at Josh Reynolds and some of his play and his performance through 5 games of the 2023 NFL season. Veteran wide receiver. He's off to an impressive start on multiple levels, but here's one of them. He's got 16 catches in 4 games played. I think he missed the Week 3 game against the Falcons. Consistently just slicing through defenses for chunk gains, big plays. I knew he was averaging a high yards per catch. I didn't know what it was, but I have the film organized and I can search via player name. So I was like, all right, let me go see what his yards per catch is. It's 18. That's really good. And then a further look at the stats. I want you to double check me on this. Not during the premiere. Double check it after the video posts up and then comment. That helps me out. But he's got 16 catches. All 16 of them have been for first downs or touchdowns. Double check me on that unless I looked at the data wrong. On pace for a career year, statistically, I think his career high in catches is 52. You were to multiply 4 times 4, 16 catches, you're looking at 60-plus catches, 64 to be precise. But we know that's going to be impacted by a lot of factors. There's a lot of talented guys on the Lions offense that deserve to get the football, that should get the football. Ben Johnson appears to be someone who wants to balance things out. In games where he needed to in 2022, he made sure to get Amon-Ra St. Brown the ball 14, 15 times because he's the best player. But Jameson Williams' return, Marvin Jones Jr.'s return, St. Brown presumably returning soon from injury, all those guys being back and available is going to impact the number of opportunities that Josh Reynolds has. But here's a point that I want to make. It shouldn't. He's playing that well. At 6'4", he's a perfect complement to have on the field for guys like St. Brown, Khalif Raymond. If that means that Jameson Williams doesn't play as much, so be it. Until he is not performing like this, he needs to be on the field. He can win against man. He can win against zone. He's a hell of a threat in the red zone. I think he's underrated, and I think if he's given opportunities, at least right now, it looks like he's going to continue to take advantage of them. 3 touchdowns so far this year, like I said. Let's get to the film. A real weapon down there. He's going to beat Brown on the slant. Brown played a fantastic game. Had to pick 6. I think had a forced fumble or a fumble recovered. No, he had a forced fumble on St. Brown. And here's an example of Josh Reynolds just slicing him up. Too big of a target down there. Too much of a catch radius. And while he doesn't look fast at times, he's got quicker feet than you would presume or than he's probably given credit for. That's an easy win in the NFL. Here's another one. It's from Sunday's Week 5 win over the Panthers. We'll give you both angles of this one. That's Reynolds up top. Insane length. Allows him to win easily. Look at the separation that there is when he catches this ball. He does get both feet in bounds. I didn't think he did the first time I watched it. If you didn't watch my Lions video earlier tonight, kind of recapping their win over Carolina, you didn't see this view maybe, or maybe you watched it on another channel. That's cool too, but look at the angle that Jared Goff does not have. There's no window here. This is Reynolds, right to left on your screen. The only reason there's a window is because of the length and the jumping ability that Reynolds has. Our angle is somewhat deceiving, but you can see how high Goff had to throw that football to get it over the D-tackle level or the D-line level, and Reynolds makes it look easy. Maybe it's the time I spent coaching and always looking for players to develop and improve their confidence, their ability to perform, which only makes your team better. Josh Reynolds looks like one of those guys. If you were to look at his statistical impact, I don't think he's ever had more than 500 yards in a season, but he certainly could this year. He's done a lot of damage between the 30s this season, particularly on deeper in cuts or comeback routes. I think this is him down here at the bottom of the screen. Most of his catches have been for 16, 18, 20 yards. This one, I believe, goes for 33, maybe 23. When he gets going downhill, he's not slow. He's a big target. You can see that they've forced the corner. I think that's Snead to expand with the motion. Goff's already throwing the football. This zone here appears to be a favorite of his. We used to number them from right to left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in terms of defensively, and we had a number system that told certain players what zones to cover. in particular coverages, but that's, a little bit too much information. But Jared Goff loves throwing to this zone. We would call it zone 4, between the hash and the top of the numbers on the right. That was 4 for us. 3 was the middle of the field. 2 was the mirrored image of it between the hash and the top of the numbers. 1, and then down here, 5. Second level, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Third level was not numerical, but in any case, that's an area of the field that Josh Reynolds frequents. Deep in cuts, deep curls. And, oh, by the way, versus man, he's pretty good so far this year as well. I know that there's more attractive names to talk about, and that people spend a lot, rookies in particular, big name guys. Josh Reynolds is making plays like a big name guy down the field in zone 4, or top of the numbers to the hash, and then also from the bottom of the numbers to the sideline. This is a 3-step fade go, really, kind of. And it's one that's not really talked about, even by myself. I didn't talk about it a whole lot. It's a ridiculous throw by Goff, great touch, and then incredible body control, hand-eye coordination by Reynolds with a defender on his inside hip. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, if you ask me. End zone angle, same play. If you're not sure, that's Reynolds over there on the right. This is kind of, it looks to me at least like this is just kind of what the Lions want to do, is have rookies, Jameson Williams that they've drafted, and then veterans in front of them, next to them, whatever, on the depth chart, who can do the job if the rookie's unavailable. It's kind of similar to the inside linebacker situation with Anzalone, Rodriguez, Barnes, who's been playing better than people give him credit for, and then Jack Campbell, the rookie, who's there. It's a smart strategy by the Lions, very similar to the way things have been done for decades in professional sports. A little different now. When you draft someone in the first round, you kind of expect them to play. Ton of these comeback routes. This is 20 yards against Devin Witherspoon, the high draft pick by the Seahawks. Really talented player, obviously. He's got a pick 6 already. This is an easy win. Look at all the separation there is for Reynolds. I mean, 6'4", 28 years old. Maybe he's never going to be an 80-catch-a-season guy. You wouldn't expect him to do that in Detroit with the amount of talent that's there now. I'm going to give you a name, Lions fans, and you're probably not going to like it, but I am considering this a compliment because I believe this guy gets the Chiefs to the Super Bowl last year because of his size, speed, and ability to destroy Mike Hilton, who's a great slot defender. It's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Now, I'm not saying that I'm doing a player comparison. I'm telling you that in a big game moment, like an NFC title game or an NFC playoff game, Josh Reynolds is a guy who, because of his size, his athleticism, better feet than he gets credit for, like I said, an ability to win against man, zone, in cuts, post, slant, out cuts, whatever. He's a guy I think that can help you win a game because he's dominating his matchup, and that's why I bring that up. I think this is against L'Jarius Sneed down at the bottom side of the screen, 33 yards. I mean, Sneed is a heck of a player. I don't like to disrespect players on my film study channel, but this is smoked. Like, this is absolutely smoked in terms of the stopping on a dime, coming back to catch the football. A lot of separation between him and Sneed, and Sneed's a hell of a football player who played very well in this game, by the way. Then once he catches the ball, turns and bursts towards the sideline to get extra yards. And then another thing that I love, and I actually mentioned this in a video about the Ravens, who had 2 more fumbles in Sunday's loss to the Steelers. He seems to understand, or maybe he's being coached properly, that fumbles are usually not forced by the players you see. They're usually forced by the players you don't see. And I remember watching this in live speed and thinking, he seems to be aware that there's going to be converging players on him, and therefore he should protect the football and secure this big gain, make sure that there's no chance you lose possession of the ball. Deeper outcut against the Packers, kind of like a sail flood concept, if you will. We'll run it a couple of times. I don't know. Do you guys like seeing the plays multiple times? Ravens fans have told me that they do. At this point, really prefer it because you can see multiple things, or maybe if I tell you kind of what to look at each rep or each time, kind of gives you an opportunity to see it multiple times. But it's a play action concept. Goff going to get over here. He takes the deeper of the 3 routes that's available. You've got Laporta going out into the flats, St. Brown from the other side, and then Reynolds is going to kind of sail this towards the sideline. Goff intentionally takes and throws this ball in a place where only Reynolds can get it. And Reynolds just goes and gets it. I do believe I've seen one drop from watching the games, either live watching them or rewatched late on Sunday night. But that's it for me. I don't remember any other ones, and I've shown you 2 spectacular catches against the Packers, neither one of which was a touchdown, but both of them were for first downs, obviously. And then 2 great catches on touchdowns. He's the complete package. I love seeing veteran players raise the bar for what the expectation level is. Now, St. Brown is open on this play. I got no problem if someone wants to point that out. I think the end zone angle does a really great job of showing you the window that Goff puts this in. Clearly, there's some type of issue in the Chiefs' coverage that allows St. Brown to get up the field cleanly. But, look, you've got Snead as a free rusher off the edge. Don't know if Goff has awareness of it. I don't listen to press conferences. I don't read news articles. I don't have time. He may have had knowledge like, hey, the clock is ticking. I've got to get rid of the football. To me, the way Jared Goff is playing, that would not surprise me. I'm not saying that that's definitely what it is. I'm just wondering if that's part of the reason why he said, all right, I'm just going to go ahead and throw this deep in cut, this dig to Reynolds, and he had to throw it around a diving George Karlaftis to do so. I didn't give the end zone angle on this one. I'm not sure why. Look, with each passing week, this win over the Chiefs looks better and better. You guys let me know what you think. I don't get to watch every NFL game every week because once the Ravens game or the Lions game is over that I'm covering or that I'm going to do a reaction video for, I'm working on the reaction video. So I don't get to watch like the 4 o'clock games if I'm doing a reaction video to the 1 o'clock game. That's just how it kind of works. Anyway, this is a 3rd and 3 against the Seahawks. I think he's in here. Stacked next to St. Brown. Beats Love, the safety, talented safety for the Seahawks. Played very well in that win in Detroit in week 2. Beats him quite easily for an 8-yard catch. 8-yard gain to get a first down. 16 catches, 16 first downs. I don't know. Maybe there's other guys in the league with that type of statistic. I'm not aware of who they are. I don't get the chance to sit and look at a ton of stats. But after doing this video, I certainly will go take a look at it. Josh Reynolds, to me, right now, is a great story. He's a great story for the impact he's having on this team, and he's a great story for what he's done for his career in these first 4 games. Maybe it doesn't carry over. Maybe in the next 4 games he only gets 8 catches. Maybe he only ends up with 40 catches across the year. Stats don't matter. The capability is what matters. Josh Reynolds can win you guys a football game in the playoffs, same way MVS did last year in the AFC title game. If the Chiefs don't have that matchup advantage, I don't believe they get through the Bengals again last year in the AFC title game. And to me, Josh Reynolds looks like a guy who can have that kind of impact because of how easily he's winning some of these routes against man, averaging 18 yards a catch. There's going to be open space available for him, particularly on these play-action concepts that Ben Johnson utilizes so much with Jared Goff and an excellent running game behind Montgomery and Gibbs. You guys let me know what you think of the film study video. I like to look at underrated or unheralded players, particularly ones like this guy that I think are outperforming a lot of our expectations. Appreciate y'all's time. Let me know what you think of the video in the comment section. If you think other Lions fans will enjoy this content, please consider grabbing a link to this video, sharing it out on social media to help this video get more reach.